here to talk about how to make books. This that I'm going to show you is a Land and Water Forms book. Now, I already did a couple videos on how to make Land and Water Form watercolor cards. You can use that information to make your book the little bit more that I give you here. You can see there is one of the pictures. So I'm going to actually take this apart to break down how to do it. Look at that. So there are a couple pieces. Besides the inside of the book, there's a front and back cover and a little spine, the side of the book. Now if you look here, this is watercolor paper. That's just all one big accordion piece. Whoa, right? So wide, I can't even get the whole thing in frame. Now, this can be a little confusing to make, so I thought I would show you the piece of art paper. So these. Now, I don't want my book to be this tall, right? So I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half. There we go. That's half. Even that might be too tall for me. I'll cut this off and then I'll probably cut it down again. So I have some paper that I'm going to use to show you how to make the covers. And I'm just going to cut down the inside paper to be the right height. Okay, so you can see that the paper I'm going to use for my cover is shorter, so I'm going to need to cut it down just about that much. Handy enough, I can use the other piece of paper, that straight edge, as a ruler. Alright, that will work. Should work anyway. There's the line. All right, there we go. Now you'll notice that this is folded, right? In and out, over and over again, right? And it's folded always the same size. That's very important. So that will make sure that your book pages all line up, right? This paper is not going to make an extremely long book. So if you would like to, this other half, if I trim them to be the same size, I can actually tape them together and make a longer book. So I can show you about that. First, let's get them down to the same height. There we go. Use the big scissors for these. scrap paper there. Okay, so now I'm going to sort of decide how big I want each page to be, how tall. It can be however tall I want it to be. I'm going to make sure that I keep it smaller than the cover page that I want. And I'm sort of working backwards in that I have these papers to make the cover, but you can make your book and then make your cover papers the right size for your book. You don't have to go backwards like I'm doing here. But we definitely don't want the pages to stick, you know, really far out of the book. So I'll try to keep it manageable. So I make a little fold there. Now I'm going to line up this edge here with another fold. This detail will be a little bit hard to see probably in the video, but I'm trying to make them the same. That's actually pretty good, right? So I'm folding it right back. Now again, this side. Oh wow, this actually is really good. I don't know how I did this, but this paper managed to fold up perfectly in that little accordion. Wow, actually, that's pretty cool. So this would be a very, very short book if we were to put a cover on this. It would really only be like 2 pages. So you could get some really, 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 really long paper, or you could use some tape. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this one using my template here that I'm already creating. I'm going to keep folding. And again, of course, trying to line up as best I can with the edge. And then it should fold perfectly one more time, somehow. Alright, that one did okay. Not as pretty maybe as the other one, but it works. And there we are. Okay, so I only have packing tape in my home, which is kind of funny. So you can use any kind of tape that works. You could use masking tape, you could use regular Scotch tape. Tape it kind of together here so that I can still use the pages as I'm going. Let's see if it works. Tape on one side, put some tape on the other. I am leaving a little bit of space. I'll show you. Leaving a little bit of space in between so that it can fold without creasing the page on either side. Okay. And there we go. It works so nicely. Now I think that once I go ahead and make my book, it's probably a good idea to put a little tape on the other side too. For you, I would probably go ahead and paint or write your book first and then do some extra taping. So at this point, if I have everything out, and I can continue to create pieces and make more and more pieces for as long as I want this book to be, right? We are going to have to decide what to put in it. So if you make a land and water book like this, of course I'm not showing you the picture here, you can see how you leave a page in between every picture. That's for the words. That's where they will go eventually. This book has one first page too, which will be for the cover. Yeah? The cover will go on, and then it'll be like a title page, right? When you have a book and you have a title page and it says, you know, what the name of the book is and who wrote it and who illustrated it, you can put that in for yourself too. And I'll show you that at the end. So when you're thinking about making your book, you have to keep all that in mind. The two end pieces are going to be where your cover goes. So they're not going to be utilized for your book. So you have to say, I'm not going to work on that. Now it's up to you. If you want to use the first page in your book for a painting or a drawing or a story, you can. Or again, you can do your title page. And then you can decide as you go through if you would like. So if you're making a land and water booklet like mine, then you would probably have a title page. And then you would paint an island, a lake, and then you keep going. So you see, if I was going to do this, I would need a lot more pages to make my entire book. But you can always do whatever you want in it. So I'll show you how to put the cover on. We have two different pieces. One is a larger rectangle. One is a slightly shorter, but like really long. So one is a wide rectangle, and one is a short and long rectangle. You can see that they are different sizes. If I hold them up here, one's longer, one's definitely thicker. You can see the difference on them. The thicker part is going to be the front, and the thinner, longer part is going to be the back. So you can play with sizes until you figure out what works for you. You fold in the edges of both sides. And now you're going to put the papers together. You're just going to slide it into the top here. Not doing a very good job of sliding. There it goes. So it's just folded over. And then in here, kind of like wrapping a gift or something, or tucking in the edges of the box. Crazy, right? I have two more. So, this fits in over top. And then this comes in. Ah. I'm making it look so easy, right? There's no rule that says you have to hook this, you know, whichever piece in first. You just want to get them connected like this. Yeah. So now I've got my two pieces. That'll be my front and my back. And it doesn't really matter how big the spine is. Just need it to be big enough that you can wrap it around your book. So this big ought to do it plenty. It'll need to be bigger if your book is really thick. And my book right here is pretty small, so it won't need to be that big even. So now we have our front and our back cover. So the longer, thinner pieces are in the back. They're the ones here that are open, providing this open space because they went up and around here. So you want to put them on either side of your book so that there is space here in the back. I hope that you can see the space. Now, the spine will slide in to that space. on one side, and then it will slide into the space on the other side. And just make it as tight as it needs to be. And then once it's all there, you can crease it a little bit, make sure that it'll stay in there. There's your book. Now, how are we going to get these pages to stay in the book, you might ask? Well, that same area that I put the spine into, now, remember how I said these pages on the end are not going to be used for your book? This is why. I'm going to put the pages in on one side, slide it in, and then on the other. Now, this one I'm going to have to take off and slide back on. It's okay to cut this page down to just have a smaller section. I'm just keeping it as it is for now. Slide it in. Make sure I catch the spine part in there. There we go. So I can make a nice drawing on the cover and say what my book is about. Then when I open the book, there it is. And here's my pages of my book. So it looks like I have about 6 pages to work with here. Now this paper is a bit slippery and it's falling apart on me. So you are welcome to use a little glue, right? Once you get it all together, you could put a little glue right in here on either side of the spine, right? And then put it under something, and your book is going to stay together a lot better. The other place you might do some glue, maybe, you could always like open up here and put a little glue. If you can see right there, there's the inside where the page is. You could put some glue in here too, and also. So if you glue the cover on a little bit more and you glue the spine into place a little bit more, then your book is going to be perfect. Let me show you how I put together the Land and Water form book so you can see, and I'll also do a little writing in there so you understand how to do that if you wish. So here's my front and back cover and my spine, and this watercolor paper is really heavy, so it actually holds together a little bit more. You can see here we've cut the edges down, so these are not a full page, and it's going to fit just fine. It's going to still do the same thing with the book. Alright, so I find my open side. I'm going to slide in the page, the little part of the page. Same thing over here. So that's on there. Now I'll put my spine on. You can kind of see, I hope, over there where it's going. There it is. There you have it. Here, I could make a title page of some kind if I wanted to, make another design. Here's my lake. So on this side now, I can write about the lake. I can choose to write in my handwriting, or I could type it on the computer and print it out and paste it in here. So the definition of a lake that I'm going to put in here is, a lake is a body of water completely surrounded by land. I'll write that in, and then I'll show you so you can see this. And there it is. Now you can write however you wish in your book. I would go on and do an island is a body of land completely surrounded by water. A gulf is a body of water extending far into the land. A peninsula is a body of land extending far into the water. A strait is a narrow body of water connecting two larger bodies of water. An isthmus is a narrow strip of land connecting two larger bodies of land. And then even if I want to, at the end, I could put a little the end or something. So I hope that you will have a great time deciding what kind of book you would like to make. You can make a land and water book, as I've shown you, with your beautiful watercolors. You could make your own story and make your own illustrations. Really, there's so much you can do. Bye.